said, I got a question for you. Somebody answered the question for me. He said, when you were underwater, what did you want to do? I said, I wanted to breathe. He told the guy, he said, when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. Successful.
Have you ever had that feeling that life was just unfulfilling? More that you try to find it, the more that you got to witness the bush that you done been in. All the pain you done went through, I'm grateful for being here, but sometimes it made me resentful.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of From Zero, where we have on a very special guest today, a rap artist from Buffalo whose motivational hip-hop song just reached 1 million views on YouTube.
See, life is about taking risk and it's about time that I jump. Success is where I'm headed, but I don't think I get it. Spend my last on this ticket and I can't afford to miss it. I'm gone. I keep pushing, got my head to the sky, wondering if I ever make it there. Yeah, I keep pushing, gotta play the hand I'm dealt because I understand life ain't fair. Ay, so I push and I grind, and I push and I grind, cause I know one day it's gonna pay y'all.
Not only that, but a rap artist with the most entrepreneurial mindset I have yet to come across. It's my pleasure to introduce you guys to Terrence Ferguson, aka T-Ferg, the CEO of the Keep Pushing movement. This is an inspirational and motivational episode that's surely gonna have you guys pushing your business and lifestyle to the next level. Let's introduce you guys to T-Ferg. All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of From Zero. And today we have on a super special guest, a guy that's been motivating me, man, for years. So today we've got on a rapper named T-Ferg, and he's got this song called Keep Pushing that just reached 1 million views on YouTube, man. This song, which I'm going to link below, and actually I'm going to show you a clip in the introduction, is the sickest song that will get you pumped up and stoked to do anything. So it's my pleasure and honor to introduce you guys to T-Ferg.
Oh, what an intro. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me.
What's up, man? How's it going down there?
It's getting cold. You know, Buffalo weather is something serious. One day it's like 90, the next day it's like 40.
No, man. I know the feeling. 2 weeks ago, we had 45 centimeters of snow, and now it's plus 20. So it's all over the map too, man.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, see, so you know how it is then.
Definitely, man. So, yeah, as mentioned to the people, man, your video just reached 1 million fucking views, man. And as I told you off camera, man, I've been following that song since it's like 70,000. So you've been coming a long way, man, from your songs to your album to, you know, the swag you've got going on. So why don't you give yourself a little intro, you know, how you came up, how you got into the rap game, and then we'll get into some details.
All right, sound like a plan. Well, I wasn't always a rap artist, to be honest with you. And when I tell the story, a lot of people, some believe it, but then some feel like, bro, that just seemed like a story you, like an author would write. But honestly, when I was 8 years old, me and my dad, we went to a church service, and there was a guest speaker. He was from out of town. And out of nowhere, he just stopped like preaching, and he looked at me. He said, "You come to the altar." You know, I'm only 8 years old, so I ain't really paying attention. Yeah. And my dad, he was like, "Who, him?" And he was like, "Yeah, come to the altar." He said, "You could come too." So me and my dad go up to the altar, and he was like, "God wants you to know he have a plan and a purpose for your life." And my dad, we just stand there looking at him. And he was like, "God wants you to know he's going to use your son in a mighty way. He's going to be one of the greatest rap artists to come out of the city of Buffalo." And my dad started laughing because at the time I wasn't even into music, no nothing.
Yeah.
So my dad started laughing, and he was like, "My son, he ain't no rapper. He's an athlete. He's a football player." And then the guy said, "Well, you think so?" He said, "But God got other plans." So fast forward, I'm 17, 18 years old. I'm in high school. I'm captain of the football team. My senior year, I'm trying to work up to get a scholarship. Ain't really have one at the moment, but was trying to work up to one, fresh out of personal training, the whole nine. So second game of the season, me and my cousin Moan, we was in the backfield together. We played running back in a double wing formation. And my now business partner was our quarterback back then, Mo Bailey. And they wasn't giving me the ball. The coach was not giving me the ball. It's my senior year. I'm like, yo, I got to get a scholarship. And I got you. And they wasn't giving me the ball. So I told my cousin, I said, yo, when he called the play, I said, switch. He was like, for real? I'm like, yeah. He was like, all right. So we switched places. And you heard the coach on the sideline, Terrence, Warren, what are you guys doing? That is not the play. Like, they was going crazy.
Yeah.
Long story short, that very same play, I tore my ACL.
Wow.
So my football career went completely down the drain. My brother, he always was into music. And I was just talking to him one day, like, man, what am I going to do? Football is all I knew. Like, I don't want to do nothing else. He was like, bro, well, just vent about it. Get on the mic, rap about it, you know, just whatever. So I did that. I don't even remember what I was talking about. I was just rapping. And then I met this guy, his name's Stacks, I actually do business with too. I met him when I transferred schools before I tore my ACL. But long story short, me and him started doing music together. People actually started liking it. They're like, yo, you ever thought about taking it serious? And I'm like, not really. You know, I want to play football.
Yeah.
But long story short, you know, one thing led to another. We started doing music for the girls. You know, we wanted to get chased by the popularity. We did not see a career out of this at all. Like, completely. And the more I started doing music, the more I started to like it and grow a passion for it. And then once I really grew a passion for it and I started coming out with different records and people actually started liking it and I started taking it serious, that's when God's promise came back to me. And I remember clear as day, the guy said, God is going to use you in a mighty way and you're going to be one of the greatest rap artists come out of the city of Buffalo. And it wowed me because I'm like, here it is. So many years later, I'm now doing what God told me I would be doing when I was only 8 years old. So and since then, I just kept hold to his promise, and like my label, I kept pushing.
Yeah, man, that's inspiring. You know, you can tell even from your music videos now that, you know, devotion and religion is a very strong part, and you've got a lot of faith in your music, man, which is powerful because, you know, it's clear that people have a big plan for you and you're fulfilling that role, which is amazing. But it's kind of neat to hear that story, man, because it almost brings me back, and I've related you to this person in previous times with friends, and, you know, it kind of reminds me of Ace Hood. You know, Ace Hood was, you know, he was a big football guy. He got injured. He got into the rap game, and he's sort of on that motivational trend too, man. And he's a big into the gym, just like you. So that's cool, man. That's a solid vibe, and I like that you came through that way. It's an organic, you know, transition into the rap game, which is sick.
Yeah, man. Like where I'm at now, never in a million years would I thought I'd be here. I didn't see it, you know. Even now when I do music, it's so many other people who see stuff that I just don't see. Maybe because I'm too busy working or just focused, but they like, bro, you got this, you did. And I'm like, I don't see that. All I feel like is I need to work harder. And they're like, bro, you're working hard. What are you talking about? And I'm like, no, I can work harder. You know, 'cause I'm on the inside looking out, I guess. I'm not on the outside looking in.
For sure, man. And, you know, it's easy to tell, even from the fact that you've already got your apparel rolling, is that, you know, you've got that entrepreneurial mindset to the business. You know, you're not just thinking next record, like you've got a vision for something huge. So it's cool that you're not content with like the small fame right now. You know, you want to get something big, and you know you've got greatness to achieve, which is awesome, man. So, you know, keep pushing. Let's get into that because, you know, that's such a motivational song. You brought on E.T., Eric Thomas, the hip-hop preacher, man, for the intro. You know, where did that song come from, and how did that become such an empowering song? And, you know, that's a big heavy hitter, man.
Man, that song took off out of nowhere. But where it started from, honestly, and I tell everybody this story, I was at a point I'm pretty sure we all have it no matter what field you're in, but I was at a point in my career where I was just fed up. And I just felt like, man, is this really going to happen? It don't seem like anything is happening. And I was just so frustrated. And I remember my mom, my sister, and a few other people, they always told me, your best songs come from the heart. It comes from what you're currently experiencing. So don't be afraid to be a little transparent when it comes to your music. Yeah. So I tell people all the time, Keep Pushing was a song I made to motivate myself because I was ready to give up. Wow. Like if you listen to the first part of the lyrics where I'm rapping and I said, have you ever had that feeling that life was just unfulfilling? Yeah. More that you try to find it, the more that you got to witness, the blood that you done been in, all the pain you done went through. I'm grateful for being here, but sometimes it made me resentful. Yeah. That's me really just venting and just saying, do you know what this feel like? Because right now, this is what I feel. And I tell people all the time, that song was to motivate me, but because we're all human and we all have emotions, other people can relate to that frustration in many different ways. And once again, it all ties into God's plan for my life. And who would have thought the one song that God put in me to make, to motivate myself, will be the foundation to this company that me and my boys are building, you
I
know?
think
But
that's crazy.
and I actually wrote the song in real time. So like, what I mean by that is I got a line on there where I'm not going to say her name, but I got a line where I said, exes call me pathetic. They dwelling all on the past while I'm just trying to forget it.
Yeah.
Like that line in there, literally, this was when I was with somebody at the time. That line in there, literally, they was on the phone. I can't believe I wasted 2 years of my life with you. And I just used it as fuel to my fire. And I wrote it and I said, as they arguing with me, I'm literally writing lyrics saying my exes call me pathetic, dwelling, you know, and it's just, I took everything that was wrong with my life and I just wanted to vent it because I couldn't hold it in. I couldn't hold it in no longer. So I just had to vent it and get it out there. And even when I first put the record out, I had certain people come to me and they told me, yo, that hook is a little cheesy. You should have added more to it. But I believed in what I wrote and I stood by it. And because I stood by it afterwards, it was them same people coming to me like, yo, I'm glad you didn't change the hook because I currently was going through something and that hook got me through. But at the time, they wasn't going through anything, so they couldn't understand it.
Of course.
I even had certain people, like, when I first put the song out, it didn't do anything for like a year and a half, maybe 2 years. And I had people saying, oh, they laughed at me. Like, why is he still pushing this old song? Bro, it ain't going nowhere. Leave it alone.
Yeah.
And I took one last chance, and I said, you know what? One of my fans, actually, they hit me up and they was like, hey, I love your music, but when I leave out the house, I can't listen to it because it's on CD. If only you had your own radio station. And that's what made me, you know, and they was like, I love listening to Pandora. I wish you were on there. And that's actually what made me start searching and say, how can I get music on Pandora so people can listen outside of their homes?
Yeah.
And then once it got on Pandora, honestly, that's where God allowed it to just take off, you know.
Crazy.
But with ET on the beginning, it's funny. It's a funny little story behind that too. I was just listening to motivational videos because I was frustrated. I was aggravated with life, and I just felt like I needed some motivation.
Of course.
So I came across this guy ET, and I'm listening. I'm like, man, this is powerful. Like the stuff this guy is saying is amazing. And then I created the song "Keep Pushing," but I remembered his speech and I'm like, yo, that would be so dope to put this before the song. And I had chopped up his speech a little bit. So that wasn't the whole speech he did, but I just chopped up the certain parts that I felt related to me and combined it to make his own little speech.
Yeah.
After I did it, I remember I sent him the record through Twitter and I hit him up through Twitter. And at first he didn't respond back to me. And then I'm like, yo, you gotta check this out. I did something with your voice. I thought it was dope, you know, and he finally must have listened to it. He hit me back. He said, oh, good stuff. Keep it up. But he kind of just surpassed it because it only had like 50 views. Yeah. So he didn't think anything of it. But that's how that came about. And then once I got his approval, I really was like, oh, man, we got to run with this because it's awesome. And then I let a few people in my circle hear it before I released it to the public. And they instantly, they was like, man, this is life-changing. And I'm like, for real? Because I didn't see it that way. I just felt like, I'm relieved. I finally released my frustration on the song. I'm cool. But everybody else seen something different out of it. And then once it hit Pandora, it just started taking off from there.
That's amazing, man. It's so sick to hear that, you know, you did it for yourself because it's the same thing with all businesses and social media and rap and everything, man, is the fact that, you know, when you do things specifically for others, it's not authentic. It's not real. It's not transparent. And people can tell that you're doing it for the fame or whatever, right? But the fact that, you know, you did that for yourself and people can relate to it shows transparency to your life and that you're dedicated, right? And I think that's why, you know, so many people can relate to it because they feel how impactful it is to you, like, right? They feel that vibe and they know that this is like a struggle, man. They know this is you. It's not something that you're trying to do to get the girls anymore, right? This is you, right?
And you're absolutely right. And I say this all the time. Even with your walk of faith, you know, whatever you believe in, me, I'm a Christian, but whatever you believe in, even with your walk of faith, it's obstacles, it's distraction, it's things there to try to knock you off course. And, you know, with your prayer life, or when reading the Bible, or whatever you're doing, praise and worship, it takes discipline. It really does take hard work and dedication. You got to be dedicated to a certain goal, whatever it is you're trying to get, whether you're in law school, whether you're a chef, whatever it is, it's going to take hard work and dedication. It's going to take you to say, you know what, I want this as bad as I want to breathe, like E.T. said.
Yeah.
I want this as bad as I want to breathe. So when I need oxygen and I can't breathe, I do whatever it takes to get it. It's the same with your goals. You got to be willing to do whatever it takes. Obviously not compromising who you are morally, but at the same time, your work ethic, you got to be willing to say, I'm tired. It's 3 a.m, but you know what? I need to perfect my craft. I got to get up earlier than normal. I got to do things that's out of the ordinary, but make sense to me if I'm ever going to get where I'm trying to go. And that's why that song, I think, was so impactful, because no matter what your walk of life is, you're going to have obstacles.
Yeah.
Like we say over in Keep Pushing, what's so dope about the Keep Pushing lifestyle brand is, I say it all the time, no matter our walk of life, no matter our background, no matter our point of view, we all have one thing in common. That's a problem. We all have problems, whether you got money, whether you're poor, whatever it is, you're going to have a problem.
Yeah.
At least one problem, more than that.
Yeah.
But the one thing we all got in common, no matter our walk of life or anything, is if we push hard enough, if we work hard enough, we can overcome any obstacle, no matter what our beliefs is, no matter any of that. Because like the Bible say, God reign on the just as well as the unjust. So it doesn't matter if you're a believer or non-believer. And when I do speak to other non-believers and they say, yeah, man, you know, I throw out into the universe and this is what comes back to me. That's equivalent to a Christian saying, I sowed the seed by faith, and by faith I reap my reward, my harvest.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing. It's just different terminology. So the point with KP Lifestyle is, no matter your background, long as you putting in that work and you believing in what you stand for, you're going to get whatever you're working towards. It may take a little longer, it may be a little harder, but if you keep pushing, you're going to overcome the obstacle.
Certainly, man. I think, it's even powerful hearing that it didn't take off for that long, right? I preach patience and persistence. Those are the 2 words that I use time and time again. And the fact that, you saw something not only in the song, but in yourself that said, you know what, even though people are not paying attention to it, there's something deep within that makes it special. So you kept pushing, you found different avenues, you released it on Pandora, you explored the promise within that song. And that's one of the reasons why I got into that song, is because, I'm in real estate. And when I transitioned from engineering and quit and got into real estate, everyone didn't believe in me. They said I was crazy. They asked, why did you waste all this time in university to get into this? It was all a waste. And I was doing things, man, that, weren't fun for me. I had to go door to door. I had to do all this stuff. And I used to listen to this song every day before I went door knocking, because I was like, fuck, man, like, this is the one thing that's making me go out and hustle, because I know that I have to keep pushing in order to prove these people wrong, to fulfill my worth, and to find out, what I'm really capable of. So it's awesome, man. Now, hearing all that, what did it mean when that hit 1 million for you? Because that's a big achievement, man.
It's funny you say that. It was like, and like I say, I'm being as transparent as possible. It was so dope, but at the same time, I didn't soak in the moment, because yes, the song hit 1 million views, but because there's so many other goals that I'm trying to get to, it was a great milestone for me, and I appreciated it, but I felt like I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, not to sound ungrateful, I'm just being transparent. I really felt like this is so dope. I love it. But then the fact that, when it hit 1 million views, I was just getting over the flu, and I was behind on a lot of my music work, business work, whatever. And I soaked in a moment. I appreciated it, but at the same time, I'm like, my life still is what it is. It's been changing, but it haven't changed yet. So I still got work to do.
Yeah.
And that was my attitude, because I realized if I got too complacent, if I got too comfortable with the victory, that will start to bring on procrastination and laziness.
100%.
And I had to realize what got this, I'm going to be absolutely honest.
Yeah.
Keep pushing. God did that. This is not me trying to be extra spiritual. None. I'm just being absolutely honest. And the reason why I say that, I posted up a stat about when I first came out, Keep Pushing, and put it on different platforms, I didn't have no music budget. I didn't have no big label or any label really backing me on that record. I didn't have the financial capital to put in market and promoting and anything else. And this is me being absolute honest. And it even got to a point that once the song got on Pandora, I actually started focusing on other records. I'm just now revisiting Keep Pushing because I'm just now, years later, realizing the significance of this record. Once again, I'm on the inside looking out, so I didn't see what everybody else seen. So now I'm at a point where I'm like, wait, I got to push this record. This is the record God gave me. This is the record God put in me to write. This is the record that's going to reach all these goals I'm trying to reach. And that's what I had to realize. But at the time, when it hit 1 million views, I wasn't thinking that. I was just like, I was excited because it's something not too many people in my city done. You know, I don't really know too many artists in the city of Buffalo who songs got 1 million views without a label deal. You know, some have done it, but I'm just saying without a music budget, without a label deal, without any of that. And for me, like I say, everything is a lot more spiritual. And for me, it just shows me, that's like God's way of telling me, I ain't forget about you. I know what I promised you. I know it's been years since I promised you it, but I'm still the same God today that I was yesterday. And your plan and purpose for your life will happen. And this is just a small taste of what to expect, you know? And that's how I took it. I'm like, wow. But God also telling me, you still got to put some work in. You still got to seek me daily. You still got to do these things that got you here. And if you stop doing them, then these things can stop. Yeah. It all depends on your work ethic, and it all depends on how bad you want it and how much you seek it. But when it hit 1 million views, I think more people around me was more excited than I was.
Yeah.
You know, mainly because the 1 million views is great. Don't get me wrong. But it didn't actually change my life just yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm still working towards these goals I have. I can't get too complacent because if I do, that's when everything go downhill.
Complacency is such an important word, man, because, you know, it doesn't just impact, you know, your song, but it's the fact that this is something that impacts all entrepreneurs where a lot of people, man, they make, you know, they have some sort of a win or a big achievement and then they start feeling themselves and, you know, they get this entitlement and this little ego. And then, like you say, if you stop doing what you did to get yourself there, it can all drop like that. We're in a world where things can be taken as quick as they can be given, right? So the fact that, you know, you're still pushing, you're still putting out songs, like you're putting out crazy amounts of content, man, now more than ever. Yeah. And it's exciting to see, you know, I tell people this all the time is once you get that momentum, it's not time to chill. It's time to double down and work twice as hard because you've got something to leverage, right? You've got the attention, you've got the movement. So it's like, yeah, man, you got to keep pushing and even more so. So, you know, that's amazing. And so tell people, you know, the Keep Pushing brand, what's that mean to you and where do you see that going through the apparel, through the songs? Like, what is your vision for Keep Pushing it as a brand?
Oh man, it's funny. When I first started out with Keep Pushing, it was Keep Pushing Records, you know, but like, I didn't want to be like Sony Records or Def Jam.
Yeah.
And I admitted at one point in my career, I wanted a record deal. You know what I'm saying? And then when I realized the difficulty of getting one and the shadiness behind it, and then I started hearing other artists and other people saying, be your own boss, and it's like, why sign to a label when you can create one? You know, it was just one of them things that I realized trying to sign to a major label was harder than I thought. And it might just be easier to do my own thing. That way I don't got to worry about getting gypped, screwed over, or anything else. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying I would never sign to a label, but now it got to work in my favor. It got to be leveraged. The only way I would ever see myself signing anything. But the brand in itself is such a powerful brand because it touches on every aspect of life. And that's how I know it's from God, yo. That's the main reason because, like, for instance, the month of October, you know, we came out with the Keep Pushing breast cancer awareness shirts. Mm-hmm. That keep fighting, keep pushing. You know, as far as where this brand is going, it's not just an apparel brand. It's not just a label. Like our logo actually say, it's a lifestyle. It's not a label. It's not an apparel brand, but it's a lifestyle. Meaning no matter what you're doing, you can be a part of the Keep Pushing family, whether it's real estate, whether it's being a chef, whatever it is. Long as you working hard and you dedicated to what you're doing, that's Keep Pushing. That's what it is. I can't really say exactly what we're going to do because we got some crazy ideas and I know people waiting for it. But I will say it's going to be way bigger than just an entertainment company.
For sure.
We're going to be dipping into a lot of different fields outside the entertainment company. And when it's all said and done, it will be a household Fortune 500 company in different fields, I'm saying. So the vision is so big, and this is the reason why I dream big, because I believe by faith you can get anything.
Yeah.
Dream it. Don't never say your dream is too big. Dream it. I was once told it's best to aim for the stars because even if you miss, you still gonna land on top of a building. You still gonna reach the top.
Yeah.
So aim for the stars. You know, don't just aim for the top of the building because if you fall short, you're just gonna hit the building. You're not gonna land at your mark. So it's better to overshoot your mark. That way, if you do go higher, that's just a bonus. So we over here, we're dreaming big. We already got meetings and we talking about stuff that's outside the entertainment field. Yeah. You know, like it's going to be big. I just can't really say specific things just yet because I know people would jump on it quick. And I believe right now those ideas got to be protected until it's launched.
Definitely, man. And, you know, I like that you say it's a lifestyle because I'm launching my own brand soon too. And, you know, it's not about apparel. It's more so about creating a culture or a lifestyle, and apparel is one of the avenues that allows you to do that, right? It's something that people can represent and feel proud of and feel like they're a part of a community that's like-minded. And like you say, you touch on chefs, all walks of life, man. Just because, you know, it's a brand from a rapper, a realtor, or someone doesn't mean that you don't share those similar passions and those common denominators that keep you excited about life, right? And, you know, it kind of reminds me too now that you're talking about things like bigger than rap, because, you know, that's how you get your foundation. But it was funny because I know when Chamillionaire, man, he came out with Riding Dirty and then he left the rap scene and he got into venture capitalism and he got into investing in Silicon Valley. And he did a report, man, Chamillionaire, like the guy friggin' grills and everything. So no one takes him seriously. And now he's dealing with these businessmen. And he was saying, like, when I was in the rap game, man, I was dealing with people who had millions. Now I'm dealing with people who've got billions. And he's like, it completely changes his mentality because, you know, he was not saying there's anything wrong with, you know, flossing in the rap game, but, you know, he just from his perspective, he's like, yeah, man, I was with these people that were iced out and they're spending every last dime they've got because they're making mills. But now I'm dealing with people that are making billions of dollars, man, and you would never know because they're wearing T-shirt and jeans. It's like the different mentality when you keep that vision so big, like you say, that anything's possible, because a lot of people get, you know, sucked into the game itself and they lose that vision, even though it could be so much bigger.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that. That's like the rapper I look up to is like J. Cole.
Yeah, man. Fuck.
Guy.
Yeah.
Very, and that's what I like the most about him. I'm a fan of his lyrics. I'm a fan of his music.
Big time.
It's his humility that I like the most. You know, I seen it was a picture somebody took, one of his fans, and we know his song just went platinum. He got all this money. He's set. We know that. But he was riding a bus with no jewelry, you know, a regular T-shirt. Every time you see him, he's not really flashy. He's not all over the place. He may have a little piece of jewelry here and there, but for the most part, even his dress is just wild. Like, you know, he kind of remind me, and I'm not saying he is, but he kind of remind me of, like, in the Bible, of like a John the Baptist with wild dress and just, you know, he's in the jungle, but he's doing God's work type stuff. Yeah. You know, but in J. Cole's sense, I like his humility where he's like, I don't have to show you I got money. Yeah. Because if I do, that just makes me a target. You know, and that's what I like the most about him, because he is who he is, whether he's famous or not. His humility is amazing.
100%, man. I saw him 2 years ago, front row in Toronto. And, you know, even just being at his concerts, it's it's empowering to hear his stories, man. And like you say, even the fact that when he wrote the song Neighbors, man, the neighbors think I'm selling dope. And the fact that, like, you know, just because he's like this young black man with money and he's in this house, it doesn't mean that he's like, you know, selling drugs, or he's flossing or anything like that, man. He's so humble, and he treats people like they're at his level, even though he is going multi-platinum. And I think that's why, you know, even listening to songs like Eminem's new album, where he's quoting, you know, the inability to pay humility, and he's talking about the new age mumble rappers, but he praises J. Cole because these people, you know, they've got a head on their shoulders, and they know, you know, in order to stay long term in this game and have that longevity, like Jay and these people, you can't get caught up in the buzz right now, right? Because you can get dropped in a second, man. So I think that's powerful, and you can tell that you're humble too, man. So, you know, it's crazy. So on the note of J. Cole, man, that's kind of an interesting topic. What would be your dream collaboration if you could pick a couple artists to someday work with?
Oh man, one obviously it'd definitely be J. Cole.
Yeah.
You know, I rock with J. Cole. I would like to do some work with Wale. You know, I like his style too. And as weird as it sounds, I would like to do a record with like a one of these wilder artists, just because I know I'm versatile, and I would just like to see how that record come out. And when I say wilder artist, I mean somebody like a famous Dex or one of these really wild artists. You know, maybe not Tekashi 6ix9ine, because
I was gonna say that's a
too
little
wild.
Yeah.
A little too wild. Like, I don't know if that would mix too well. But you know, I believe in pushing the boundaries and pushing a limit when it comes to music. You know, I feel like every sound is a hit record if mixed with the right sounds and vocals. So I would love to do a record that I know would blend well, like me and J. Cole or me and Wale, or get a singer on there. You know, but I also would like to do a record with like a famous Dex or one of these younger, wilder artists, just to see what would that sound like. Because I know I can adapt to the sound, you know, and that's one of the gifts God blessed me with, is I'm able to adapt. If you listen to a lot of my music, it's very versatile. It's never really the same, you know, type of sound and feeling. It's always it's so many different places. So I would love to try to adapt to another artist's sound, but make it my own.
Definitely, man.
I hit up my engineer all the time, and I'm like, yo, bro, I need a pop/EDM/hip hop fuse record.
Yeah.
He like, bro, why you got me doing that? Like, that's complicated. I'm like, just try it, bro. Let's see if we can do it. I'm always trying to fuse stuff and step outside that box. So I would love to do a record with like a wilder young artist. I can't really think of none off the top.
Yeah. Because
honestly, lately, I've really been so focused in on what I'm doing in my career. I felt like a lot of times, this is me again from the inside looking out. I felt like a lot of times I wasn't working as hard as I should be, because I was too distracted by the Facebooks, the Instagram, the other people lifestyles, the celebrities. And I'm like, bro, you haven't recorded a record in a week and a half, 2 weeks. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, if this is your craft, this is your passion, you should be working at it daily. So I had to take a step back from, how can I say it, the media, watching other people's lifestyles and keeping updated with their music, and just kind of lock myself in the studio and just focus on where I'm trying to go.
Definitely,
So
man.
I haven't really heard too many new artists out lately, but I know it's some wild artists out there, you know?
Yeah, man. It's crazy, you know. I love that you say that, and even just going back to J. Cole, and man, I've been with that guy since way before he got signed to Jay, so that's powerful. But you know, just on the note of artists, man, someone I'm feeling right now, I've been even with him way before he blew up too, is Joyner, man. Joyner's fucking.
Oh man, I just got put onto him probably
man.
Like months ago.
I've been on him, man, for years before he blew up, and now like he is lyrically like raping people, man.
I would like to actually do a track with Lucas Joyner too, honestly, because his bars is amazing. Like
Joyner, man, Joyner Lucas is, he's smart. He's kind of like the Eminem in the sense that he spits, but his bars are deep. So it's cool, man. And from I'm not a racist to all this. So that's crazy, man. I love that you're doing that, and it's powerful to see what you got coming forward, because it's going to be big. And I like the fact that it's something we all have to take into account as entrepreneurs in general, not to get caught up, because comparison is one of the biggest killers of identity, in the sense that if you get caught comparing yourself to the next rapper, the next entrepreneur, the next business, you're going to die, because then you're no longer trying to focus on being the best version of yourself. You're trying to become them. And that's when, your identity and what got you there gets lost, because now you're trying to become something that's not true to you, right? It's just to be what people want of you, right? So
yeah, absolutely. And it's funny you say that. I was just watching a sermon the other day on YouTube from this pastor Michael Todd. Like, I like the way he preached, and he was talking about staying in your lane, exactly what we talking about now. And I never knew this, but when horses race, they put blinders on the side of the horse's eyes. I never knew that. And as he was saying it, I understood why. He was like, the reason being is all they want the horses to see is the finish line. Yeah. They don't want the horses to see who they're racing against, because that's where the distraction comes from. The crowd cheering, the different movements. If they got that peripheral vision, they're liable to get off of course and try to run somebody else's lane, And if you compare it to just us in real life, that's what a lot of people do sometimes. We don't have blinders on our parentheals. So we may be like in real estate. You may be doing real estate, and it may be a guy who's probably doing real estate too, and either you a little bit ahead of him or he's ahead of you. And if you looking over at what he's doing and then try to do what he do, it can mess you up completely, because his formula is not your formula. Yeah. His pitch sale is not your pitch sale. And looking at that other person lane can really knock you off course. The same with music. It's so easy to get distracted by another rapper's success, because you may think you're doing good. And if you look over another lane and it's another rapper, let's just say like 6ix9ine, and he's becoming extra successful, and that's not my lane. But because I'm trying to become successful, I think it work and I try it. That can hurt my fan base, because they can look at me and say, bro, you're not 6ix9ine. What are you doing? Yeah. That's not who you are. So that's why it's very, very important, as I say, to put the blinders on our own eyes. Yeah. Because like you say, if we start comparing our success or our careers or even our personal life to somebody else's, it can knock us completely off course.
Big time, man. Big time. Yeah, man, I like that you're doing that, and you can tell that you're getting that tunnel vision, and you're seeing that, when you stay true to yourself and you let the external influences take hold, greatness is coming. So it's exciting to see, you're building up this momentum, and your time is coming, but you're still paying that humility and staying strict to your lane. So, last couple questions, man, before we wrap up here. The first one is, what book would you recommend to audience viewers here? And then what can we expect from T-Ferg going forward in years to come?
Okay, well, you know what I'm about to say.
Uh-oh.
As far as the book, you know what I'm about to say. And I have a reason behind it. Once again, I know certain people may take it how it is, but I don't care. Yeah. But the book I would recommend is the Bible. And the reason why, this is my honest reason why, I was just talking to somebody the other day about this. Actually, I was talking to my boy C Nails. Shout out to Nails, Mo, Cody, the whole KPL family. But I was just telling him the reason why I read the Bible and I seek God is because that is my peace. Like, that is my sanity. And I'm just being absolutely honest through my own personal experience. When I go weeks or days or whatever without seeking God or praying and meditating and all that, my life just feels so chaotic. It feels like it's a big burden and I can't lift it. It just feels hectic. But when I give God his time and I sit down and I seek him and I focus on Jesus and I read the word, it gives me a peace that can help me get back into reality and say, okay, I got my second wind. Let's take on this obstacle now. Yeah. And that's the reason why I would recommend the Bible, only because it changed my life. I wasn't always like this. I was one of the type of people where people would say, oh, God spoke to me. And I'd be like, yeah, well, why he ain't speak to me? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I really would ask those questions. And it took for me to realize God speaks to all of us, but how many of us actually listen? How many of us take time out to hear it? Our lives are so busy. Do we really take that time out to listen? But I would recommend the Bible to anybody, only because it's such a life-changing book if you really would just give it the time of day. Definitely. It will keep you on course. It'll keep your life a lot peaceful. Not saying you won't go through nothing, because you will, but it'll be, you will find yourself with more strength to get through it. You won't be so quick to quit, or in some people's cases commit suicide or anything, because it gives you that hope, that sense of I can make it, you know, because this is what his words say. So it'll be that. As far as from me, I'm both near and far. I got a bunch of freestyle videos coming. I realize a lot of people want to see visuals. Like, I don't know if you realize, you might have seen it, but I'm kind of going live now, giving my my fan base a little inside view of this. But a lot more visuals is to be expected from not only me, but my whole camp, Mara Guapo, Hazel, Killer Kales, Boogie Blue, Nails, Mo, the whole KPL family. We got visuals coming. I'm actually in the process of writing out a the internet series. It's going to be an actual, like, it's not TV series because it won't be on TV, but like a YouTube series where it's going to be acting, and it's going to be an actual movie. I'm working on the records for the soundtrack to that right now. So we got like little short films coming out. We got commercials. We got funny skits. We about to branch off into the comedy world, you know, and do little comedy skits and a bunch of stuff. The clothing is about to become way better than what people already been seeing, because we haven't even really launched the apparel publicly yet. Everything we've been doing is just put it out there and been doing private orders. Yeah. So we about to get ready to launch the website, kplifestyle.com. And like I say, just that's for the near stuff that's happening. The far stuff, I eventually plan on opening up, like, once, you know, the success really comes and the big checks really come, I plan on actually not really dipping into real estate, but actually buying properties for like single women and homeless people, and opening up different avenues of education. Because I realize there's a lot of young folks out here who don't, like young men who don't know how to tie a tie. They don't know how to shave. They don't know how to do the things that a man's supposed to do, and women also. But I plan on eventually opening up different things like that, foundations, charities. Like, that's the long-term stuff. The short-term stuff is the visuals, the entertainment, the stuff that we know people want to see. And that pretty much work nonstop. Music, videos, visuals, movies, clothes, the whole nine. Fitness, all of that.
That's awesome, man. I like that you're focusing on visuals now, because that's what's relevant. You know, we all know that based on social media algorithms, visuals and video ranks way higher. So the fact that you're aware enough to catch these trends and say, you know what, this is what's relevant right now. Let's tap into that. And in a couple of years, your short-term goals will change, because different things will be relevant at that point in time, right? So, you've got big visions, and even like you say, going back to the Bible, the fact that, that it's not for everyone, but you also know that, you found something that works for you. And that goes the same with success, man. Is success looks different for every single person. So you have to be, find what gives you comfort, find what relates to you, and use that to your ability to help you keep pushing, because we all find our own little thing that works and keeps us ticking. But it's just a matter of being open to new things and saying, you know what, give it a chance. Even if it doesn't work out for you, at least you gave it a shot and said, you know what, maybe something else. But fuck, man, that's awesome.
If I can just give out one advice, honestly,
yeah,
and this is something I just learned recently, like I'm talking about a few years ago. Like you say, you gotta live for you. At the end of the day, you're the only person that's gonna walk your shoes. So whatever it is in life you want to do, whether people agree or not to it, you have to do it. If that's what gives you happiness, do it. Go for it. Don't worry about the hate that's going to come with it, because that same hating is going to turn to congratulations when you do whatever it is you're trying to do. But at the end of the day, and this is what I tell people all the time, I would rather look myself in the mirror and say, man, I failed, but I gave it all I got, than to look at another person and they tell me, oh, well, I thought it would work. No, I'm not going to always take your advice, because a lot of time the advice you're giving me is advice you haven't tried out for yourself. Exactly. I'm going to do what makes me happy. And if I fail at that, I can stand up strong knowing it was my decision.
100%.
Versus me doing something you want me to do, and now the whole time I wonder what would have happened if I would have just did it my way. Yeah. I don't want to live with that regret. I would rather live with the fact that I tried it my way. If it didn't work out, okay, try something different. But if whether it works out or not, I want to live with the fact that I did what made me happy, whether you agreed to it or not. And that's the advice I would give anybody is don't live for other people, live for yourself. Because at the end of the day, good or bad, you have to deal with what happens. Nobody else do.
Yeah, man, it's, that's perfect advice to wrap this up. It's like a single person giving you relationship advice, right? It's,
oh man, I'm telling
you. We all have a different mindset, man. And the fact that, you've got a different vision than me. So it's not possible for me to give you advice because I don't have your vision. I can't see what you're trying to achieve. So it's not in my right being to try and advise you on how to go about your vision. So I think that's powerful, man. And for the people watching, I think it's amazing to see, this is a story of that exact thing we talked about: patience, persistence, devotion to your goals and your vision, and understanding, man, that, you not only have to keep the blinders on, but you also have to be open to new things. And you have to say and be open to things coming into your life at the unexpected moments and, following that dream. So T-Ferg, man, I can't thank you enough for joining us today.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. I'm just as honored as you is. When you hit me up, I was like, what? Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, man. Definitely. So as you guys can see, man, I'm going to link his video below. I'm going to include a part of it in the intro so you guys get a little teaser of what this epic tune is about. And make sure you follow his links. I'm going to link all the T-Fergs links below, all his apparel stuff. Make sure you check him out because this guy, as you can see, has greatness coming to him. And we are going to see you guys on the next episode. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. All right, everyone. So there you have it. I hope you were able to take something impactful away from this interview that you're going to be able to apply to your own life. Please comment below what your biggest takeaway was. And if you have anyone in mind that you think I should interview next, thank you for tuning in. As always, please make sure you subscribe, and we will see you next time.